great palace. This palace, you know, I stand for. How you doing, brother? You okay? Good, good. This palace, people. Remember I was talking to you about it before? Huge palace. It was buried underground. It was found by German archaeologists in the 1900s. Look at the size of this. So it's really big. And it's said that it had over 30 rooms, between 4 and 6 floors. So you're talking about a super structure here. And this was built in the 10th century BC. 10th century BC. And that right there is the exact times as the great King David. And Solomon, to be fair. But we know David had his palace built. We know Solomon built a palace also. But why I believe this is David's palace is because the build is very similar to like the temple and so forth, but it's not the same, if you know what I mean. It's almost like David had his little touch to things and Solomon had his own little touch to things. Later. Yes, and then, sorry people, I just got interrupted there. Now to continue. 10th century BC, the exact times as King David. And Solomon, to be fair, as I say again. I remember where I'm telling you this is. The temple is over that section. And this right here is the palace. As I was saying, that temple, they say 9th century BC, it was built first. Now, I say, you know, you do not know if that was built 9th century BC or 10th century BC. I do not think that you can give 100 years. I think you should give and take 100 years when it comes to archaeology, to be totally fair, even with this place. So if you're thinking about 10th century BC, people, think about what I'm saying to you here. It would mean the temple would match the times of King Solomon and this palace would match the times of Solomon and David. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, bear in mind the historical records of how Jerusalem was and what actually happened. And bear in mind all the other evidence that I'm showing you, my people. Let's just show you around.
And this is the palace cross-sectional plan.
Wow.
Half of the palace is cross-sectional.
Wow.
Vertical.
This one with people.
Yeah, this is the people. So the plan, the palace, this is for the palace plan. Ground foundation. Foundation. This is a part of veranda, the entrance. This is not the excavator. This is the excavator already.
Let's just show you around a bit. So make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. This right here is the ancient palace, King David. And the Most High led me to know this before I even came here, before I even, you know, read into certain things. He led me to know this, my people. As he led me to know all the other things. So make no mistake about it. What I'm talking is not rubbish. And what I was talking to you about in the other video with the brothers is my vision, I believe, was those stairs there. And the hole was at the top. And that's what he was saying was, how do you know that? Because it's covered. Like, how would you even know? You can't walk up there, it's all blocked off. But I literally closed my eyes for like 10 to 20 seconds. Not even that long, to be fair. I closed my eyes, I saw the vision of the palace, and then it showed the whole. This is what my life is like, my people. Why do you think I even know where the Holy Land is? And no praise goes to me at all whatsoever. It's all works to the Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and all that exists. Just look at this. Ruins like the rest of the city. You can see people's climbed up and tried to carve in things. Quite brazen, to be fair. One thing I'll never do is mess around in a place like this. If you don't know spiritual energy, you violate on certain levels, you might have a very big problem. I believe this was the door section. So I think the door might have been in between here. And these might be in to hold the doors and so forth. That's what I was told before. Super structure. And just to remind you, this was all buried underground. So you see where that zinc is? That's where the earth was before. So it was much higher. German archaeologists got wind of it somehow, some way. I do not know how they just thought, oh, let's just ask these people to move to dig under their house. I think they know the truth, you know. I think they had the truth written down. I think they know the truth. And I just think they're going into it now because it's that time. You know, truth will be revealed. You can't hide the truth forever. And that's the real truth of the matter, you know. There is some inhabitants around here looking at me, so I don't want to be a bit too too open for them to think like, hey, who's that guy? And then start thinking I'm coming around here taking liberties. Even though it's my rightful place to do so, but not to take liberties, but to actually come here and do what I'm doing. So the Most High led, you know. And it goes over to there where you can't really walk. I think the German archaeologists have made it like so. A couple of children's followed me up here as well. To be fair, the children always follow me in this place, you know. I think because I gave them pens and so forth before, but let me not change the subject. See the structure. 10th century BC. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. It's not even fully excavated as well. That's the crazy thing. So you don't know what's around this palace. You don't know what's underground. Nobody knows anything. It's just quite deep. Understand? You see, like when they're saying Sheba came to Solomon and so forth, I believe Sheba came from Yemen over to Tigray, over to Yeha, basically to see Solomon. And that's why a lot of the builds in Sheba is actually the same as in Yeha. Very similar. Not the exact same, but very similar. And similar time also. Because what did Sheba do? She came to Jerusalem. She went to Jerusalem. She saw what Solomon was doing. She took what Solomon was doing. She took the wisdom and so forth. And she went back to her kingdom. She set up her own stuff. So funny enough, the stuff there is quite similar to the stuff in Yeha, the ancient places we're talking about. You understand? The story for Sheba being from here is void already. That's invalid. And we can go into that another time. You understand? So what's really going on here? From that time they made a connection. Sheba was a woman that loved King Solomon. She respected him. She rated him. So she's going to take the things that he's doing. She's going to take even his belief system. That was the beginning of people in Yemen starting to believe in one God. People don't realize the first Jews, now we're not talking about Israelites, we're talking about Jews, which are people that's not Israelite, but they live according to the ways of the people of Judah. The first Jews was actually from Yemen. Bear that in mind, because they are the ones that copied King Solomon. They copied the ways of King Solomon and adopted it into their own ways. That's where the whole Jewish way comes from. It stems from them. You know, it's other nations following what the people of Judah was actually doing. So that's just some history for you people. Truth is getting revealed. Many shall go to and fro. Knowledge shall be increased. But only the wise shall know these things. The wicked shall just carry on being wicked and transgressing. But the wise shall understand. And I'm not saying I'm a man of that's wise, because I don't want to be wise in my own eyes. But people, I'll say no more on that one. Peace, love, and blessings from the Palace of Palaces, built in the 10th century BC in Yeha, the true Jerusalem. One love, people. If I had it my way, I'd be digging right now, because I think I know exactly where to go. But why I wouldn't go there? I'm going to be totally honest with you, especially with people, because what we may find might shock people, you know? Might really shock people. People might get a bit funny. Suppose we find a chunk of gold. That might be madness. People's gonna say, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Like, it's gonna get mad. So, I know, thank you. I'm just taking a walk out now. I don't even really want to leave this place, to be totally fair. I just feel like sitting in here all day and reading scriptures. And I feel like digging, but that can't be done today. In fact, I'm gonna go settle down with some reading and so forth, praying. Yeah. Just coming over to this side. I'm gonna try and walk out this side. And I believe that's the ancient steps. As stated, the one in the vision. I believe it was these steps here. But this is where it's gonna get quite serious. Because there's a hole. I'm sure the hole was here. It says do not step. And I think this is where Shusha is saying they covered. And if they didn't cover it, it would mean that there needs to be dug because there's something there. Either that or it's this place here behind. Let me try and step up 1 second. I could actually think it's this one, you know. I actually think it's here. What is down there? The thing is, you can't step up here, so I can't see what's over there. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be on some Indiana Jones stuff a bit later. I come out with my equipment, my gloves and that, and even if I gotta do some, you know, pulling and all that stuff, you know I'm about that life. So I'm gonna check that out. These things I believe is from the palace as well. These ancient stones. I want one as a souvenir. Yeah. Ancient palace of palaces. Yes, people, and just a quick one. See, when a lot of people's going into history of the land of modern day Ethiopia, especially Tigray, because that is where you're gonna really find things that really shock you, you know. People always go from the 4th century AD, so 400 years after Christ, say. But what I don't get is, why are they stopping there? Why is it that when it gets to before there, people just say, oh, we don't know, oh, people used to worship the sun and the moon? Like, what makes people think that the people in this land used to worship the sun and the moon? There's no evidence to say that. Look at all these palaces and these builds you're finding. Where are you seeing any sun and moon stuff on it? So don't make these people bamboozle you thinking that everything started from the Messiah. It didn't. There was righteousness before. And the reason why they can't afford you to understand these things is because you might start digging in for the truth, my people. You might start digging in for the truth of biblical geography. And then you're going to realize where this place actually is. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is an ancient Israelite palace, I'm sure of it. The kingdom of Damat. And that kingdom of Damat is the kingdom of King David. You understand? And even to prove things on a certain level, this kingdom of Damat that I'm talking about. In fact, let me wait until the noise stops. All right. Now, this kingdom of Damat was started in the 10th century BC. When was the kingdom of Judea started? The kingdom of Judah started. When was it really started? From King David. When was that? 10th century BC. The same exact time as this kingdom started is the same time as King David. Now, when was this kingdom destroyed? When was it totally destroyed and ruined and so forth? The first century. The first century exactly when Rome destroyed the kingdom of Judah. Destroyed Jerusalem. My people, are you actually getting what I'm saying to you? The DMT kingdom, that they call it, DMT kingdom, is not just some random kingdom. That is the kingdom of the great King David. That's what they don't want you to know. And that's why when it comes to history about the Damat kingdom, you can't find nothing. When it comes to history about it, they don't want to talk about it. When you go into the museum, like I went into Axum, people, everything to do with before Christ and so forth in the museum, you weren't allowed to film. In fact, you weren't allowed to film anything because a lot of the things was there before the Messiah. They've got ancient coins. Ancient coins that's before the Messiah. Yeah, think about that. 5th century BC, I believe they say it is. They've got ancient coins from. And a lot of the things in Axum, with that being said, a lot of the things in Axum is 5th century BC, they say, between 5th and 6th century BC. Now, what that's showing is that was almost like, you see, when the Israelites returned from Babylon, that was that time, like Nebuchadnezzar time, Zerubbabel time, Ezra time, etc. That's that time. So what that's showing to me is, at that time of Zerubbabel, so forth, returning, is when Axum really started to get elevated and become a really, really, built up place and so forth. But Yeha was before that. Remember, this is 10th century BC. That's more 5th and 6th century BC. The oldest remains they've found so far is of that date in Axum. So a lot of you people think that Axum is, the go-to place and so forth. Never ever forget this. Yeha is the ancient capital. Before Axum was Yeha. You understand? And as you heard in the video as well, there's an ancient tunnel that goes all the way from Axum, all the way to Yeha. It goes all the way to Yemen, even under the sea, they say. And this is ancient. We're talking, imagine how deep you have to go to get under the sea. That's actually mad when I think about it. It goes all the way through Eritrea, everything.